Hi again, it's me, Jemima the Israelite. Last week, we had a difficult story of punishment and failed missions because of sin and not trusting God's way for us. But we've turned back to God and the city of Ai is now ours. We're getting deeper and deeper into the land that God has promised for us. Today, I'm going to tell you a story of trickery and cunning that happened to us Israelites. All of the kings of the surrounding areas heard that we'd taken the city of Ai, and they were planning to gather together to fight us. That would be bad. But the people of one of the areas, Gibeon, decided to do something different, something sly and cunning. They decided to trick us. Even though they were our next door neighbours, some Gibeonites, so those people from Gibeon, came to Joshua with some tatty bags, empty wineskins and dry, mouldy food and said, "We are from a country very far away. We have heard of the things that your God has done, performing great miracles and giving your victory over your enemies. We want to make a deal with you. We are your servants." So Joshua thought about it and decided to make peace with the Gibeonites, promising not to attack them. But 3 days later, we found out that the Gibeonites, the enemies that we had made a promise to, were actually our neighbours, and some of them even live with us. They had tricked us. Because of the promise we had made, though, we couldn't attack the Gibeonites. This had been their plan all along, to trick us into making a promise with them so that we couldn't attack them. So Joshua decided to let them live, but gave them hard jobs to do, like cutting wood and collecting water. The Gibeonites decided that this was better than all of them being killed, so this is what happened. Why do you think we were tricked? Well, I don't know if you noticed, but Joshua and our other leaders didn't ask God what to do when the Gibeonites approached us. They trusted what they thought and what the Gibeonites had looked like, rather than seeking guidance from God. If they'd asked God what to do, this might have been a different story. This has definitely reminded us that God wants to guide us, and we need to follow him. We need to invite God into the decisions we make. It can be as simple as, "Oh, God, please help me make the right decision here." Even if we don't hear him speak directly to us, often we don't, we've asked him to be part of a decision, so he will be, and he will guide us. I hope we learn from this. When we think we know better than God, things go wrong. I hope next time I see you, I can say that we trusted and followed God. That was such an interesting story, Rachel.
Yes, I can't believe that even Joshua, who was so close to God, forgot to ask God about the visitors who came before he made a treaty with them. Although, as I think about it, maybe it isn't actually that strange. There have been times in my life when I did the same thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can tell you one story. I remember in university one time when I made a decision to get a house with some friends for the next year, and I told them I would do it. Well, it seemed like a good idea. They were really nice people. I liked them a lot, and I wanted to share Jesus with them, so I thought this would help. It seemed like the obvious thing I should do, just like it did to Joshua in the story.
Okay, so what happened?
Well, after a few weeks, my dad asked me a few questions about my plans, and that helped me to see that maybe it wasn't such a good idea after all. And then I realized that I hadn't actually prayed and asked God about those plans at all. I had just completely forgotten because I thought I knew what I should do.
Okay, so what did you do?
So then I prayed about it. I said sorry to God for forgetting to talk to him about it earlier, and I told him that I got myself into this mess and I wasn't sure what to do about it now. I thought it was important to keep my promise to my friends because as a Christian, my yes should be yes, right? But I also didn't think it was such a good idea to go through with the plans. So I asked God to help. I said, "God, I know I got myself into this situation and I forgot to ask you about it before. But if living in this house isn't the right thing, would you please help sort it out for me because I don't really know what to do?" And guess what happened?
What?
Well, within about a week, at least 3 of the other students couldn't do the house together after all. So we all had to change our plans. I didn't have to break my yes to the others, and God still got me out of the situation into a better one that he had planned for me.
That's so encouraging. It really shows how much God wanted to guide you and how he did, even when you asked him a bit later than would have been best.
Yes, he's so kind and so patient.
So when we take the time to seek God about something, sometimes he directs us really clearly. But what about those times when we don't seem to know what to do, even when we've prayed about it?
Yeah, that's a bit of a trickier one, Lauren. But there is a verse in the Bible that tells us that God wants to guide us and help us with all our decisions, big or small. And I find it really encouraging. Let's see. Yeah, here it is. Proverbs 3, verses 5 and 6. Can you read it for us?
Yeah. So it says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek his will in all you do, and he will show you which path to take."
Thank you. So God does want to guide us, and if we turn to him and want to do what he wants, we can trust that he is guiding us, even if we don't see it in some dramatic way. Sometimes we only see later how he's been leading us.
So I guess the most important thing is to stay close to God, right? So we're talking with him about anything and everything and wanting to go his way and not our own first.
Yeah, that's what I think, Lauren. You know, have you ever been in one of those really big mazes, like an outdoor one, like this one, with high hedges, or in a cornfield where you can't see which way to go?
Ooh. Yeah, so in the middle, and you don't know what to do to reach the end either.
Yeah, but God is the one who knows everything and everyone. That's why we seek him and ask him to guide us.
Yeah, it's like if you had someone with a drone flying above the maze, giving you a picture of it and where you were in it while you were walking through, and then telling you which way to go at every turn.
You mean something like this picture?
Ah, yes.
Yes. We don't know how all of our life and decisions fit together, but we trust God and he can see it all. And you know, in my experience, if we ask him and he doesn't seem to give us any direction, then probably either path is okay, or we're meant to carry on straight if that seems best. As long as we keep listening to him, we can trust him that he'll keep us on the right path.
That gives me a lot of hope, Rachel. I don't need to worry so much about making mistakes because I know God and I'm trusting him to guide me.
Exactly. Let's spend some time chatting and catching with God now.